I transformed my garden in just 30 days. Okay, well, not yet. I'm working on it, but that's the challenge I'm giving myself for the next 30 days. If you haven't seen the first video in this series, I'd recommend going to watch it for more details on the challenge. As a quick recap, I'm committing to spending time in my garden every day for 30 days with the goal of small, focused tasks adding up to a big transformation. The challenge includes the goals, which are, I'm going to put on my gardening boots every day. It's like they say, getting started is the hardest part, and getting my gardening shoes on is my cue for getting out into the garden and getting dirty. Next, I'm going to complete my daily garden routine every day. It's little tasks that can add up to something big over the next month. Finally, my third goal for this challenge is to complete one focused garden task each day. What this means is I'm not going to let myself get distracted and off task. I'm going to complete something that will improve my garden and hopefully transform it over the next 30 days. So today is day 2 of my 30-day challenge. Let's get into it. Let's get this morning started with my daily routine. First, I watered my plants. Look at how beautiful the clouds were this morning. They were pastel. After that, I pulled a weed. Literally one weed today. I fertilized my back garden. In this hose end sprayer is actually Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer. This is what I use to feed my annuals on a weekly basis, and it keeps them fed and happy and blooming all season long. After that, I planted some gorgeous candy floss pink muhly grass that will get these beautiful pink plumes later this summer. These are actually new to Proven Winners and won't be out in garden centers until next year, but I'm excited to try them so you all can see what they'll look like. And from these pictures, I am super excited. I actually ended up planting 3 of these on this particular berm, and I'm planning to plant more another day on the other side too. Finally, I went up to the front garden into my long border and deadheaded these Veronica. On my daily routine is just to deadhead 1 plant, but I decided to deadhead all of these plants. I think there's probably like 5 Veronicas here, so I got those all cleaned up and hopefully they will bloom again for me this season. Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden and welcome back to day 2 in my 30-day challenge for transforming my garden. Hopefully, that's the goal. So I've already completed goal number 1 today, which was put on my gardening boots. Goal number 2 was completing my daily gardening routine. Check. And goal number 3 is to complete a focused garden task today, something that I can really focus on and leave my garden looking better than it did when I started. And so I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to continue on with deadheading. Deadheading is already part of my daily gardening routine, but it's just 1 plant per day. Today, I want to go a little bit further than that, and I really want to focus on deadheading the long border. So I think I'm just going to put my earphones in, listen to an audiobook, take my time, and spend some really focused time out here deadheading the long border, which definitely needs it. You can see my orange blaze nymphofia and my alstroemeria. It's just begging for it. So it definitely needs it, and I think it's going to make a huge difference if I just take some time and get it done. All right, you guys, so bear with me because I think I'm just going to do a voiceover for this part. I'm going to take a while to figure out how I'm going to do this challenge and get everything filmed and then still get everything done during the day. And I think for really repetitive tasks like this, it's best just to speed the video up because how many times can you guys watch me slowly deadhead a plant? I deadheaded so many plants today. You're going to hear me say the word deadhead about 50,000 times during this video, but I did get a lot done. I'm really happy with what I got done. So in the back, I have plain the blue salvia, which these I have just recently planted just a couple months ago. And so they're kind of babies, but I definitely wanted to get those cleaned up. And then the heuchera, this heuchera is the peachberry ice heuchera, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I didn't need to do much with that, but clean up just a couple little leaves that were a little crispy around the edges. On the very front, I had pink perfusion salvia, and that one I do have to deadhead about 2 or 3 times a season, but it's absolutely worth it. And then the nymphofia, the orange Blaze Kniphofia definitely needs deadheading as well. I then moved on to my Alstroemeria. This is my summer breeze or summer break. This is summer break Alstroemeria. And as you can see, I'm not actually cutting the blooms off. I'm pulling the stems from the base of the plant. And when it comes to Alstroemeria, this is actually how you want to deadhead your Alstroemeria. And it actually encourages the plant to shoot out new growth. And that's something that I feel like I can say it 100 times and somebody else will hear it every single time I say it. So this is a really interesting plant, and I actually love this variety because it doesn't get too tall. And they're just really, really beautiful. I could have gone a little bit more and done more of the deadheading and pulled more out, but I kind of wanted to leave some of it. So I didn't go all in. Maybe I did like 75% of the deadheading. You can kind of see right there. This tree off to the left is my Wichita Blue Juniper, and I absolutely love this tree, especially right next to the summer break Alstroemeria. Then I moved on to the Stokes Aster, and I'll talk about this a little bit more once I start talking, but I did not know how to deadhead this Stokes Aster. This is a new to me plant. I'm not super familiar with it. I'm not sure how much I love it. I think it's a good plant, but this is kind of what it looks like after it blooms out. It like flushes out in bloom, and it's really beautiful, and then you got to come in and you got to deadhead, and you got to go all the way down to the bottom, and so that's what I'm doing here. So after I finished deadheading, I got out my blower and I started cleaning up the area. And I think that's one thing that's really great about this transformation challenge is my goal for the challenge is just to have the garden look better each day, a little bit better each day. And so that really motivates me to keep going and to do little things like deadheading in this area, like moving some of my rock border back, like picking out weeds when I'm walking all around there. It's just getting me in the garden and getting me really focused on these tiny little tasks that sometimes I ignore when I'm doing big projects. So here you can see I got the blower out, and I just think it looks so clean. I just think it looks really, really good. And I'm really excited about this challenge. And I just want to encourage all of you to maybe possibly join in. The first video just released today as I'm recording this voiceover, and the response has just been so great. You guys are so awesome. And I love reading the comments section, and a lot of you have already decided that you want to join in, which I think is so cute and fun. And I think it's cool. Some of you are even figuring out your own challenge, like what your own challenge goals are going to be and what your own daily routine goal is going to be. And I think that that's great because the idea is we're just getting out into our gardens. We're just trying to make our gardens look a little bit better than they did the day before. And I just think it's going to make all the difference after 30 days. All right, so I am done with my focused garden task for today, and that was deadheading. I wanted to deadhead the whole long border, but just from here to over here took me over an hour. It took me so long to deadhead this area, and I just think that shows how much needed to be deadheaded. So I came through, I deadheaded my Veronica that was over there. I had some pink profusion salvia. Plain the Blues salvia needed deadheading. Orange Blaze Kniphofia needed deadheading. My summer break Alstroemeria needed deadheading, and I could have like gone even further, but I didn't want them to look too bare. But I think that they look a lot better now, and I think they'll push some new growth. And you all saw how I was deadheading. I wasn't snipping, I was pulling from the base of the plant. That's how you want to deadhead Alstroemeria. And then I did my Stokes Aster right here that I actually didn't really know how to deadhead this plant. I didn't know if I was just supposed to snip. This is not a spent bloom, but I didn't know if I was supposed to snip the spent bloom like that or go all the way down to the base. And I looked it up, and you are supposed to go all the way down to the base when you deadhead the Stokes Aster. So hopefully I'll get some new fresh blooms out of this group of plants as well. And now that everything's deadheaded, I can see the spaces that I need to remulch. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to order my mulch for delivery right now. And then I did get a chance to blow off the driveway and kind of clean up my edges a little bit. I think it looks really good. I think everything looks really neat. And so although I was only able to deadhead a certain part, a little part of the long border, I think overall the garden is looking nice and neat since I was able to work on the surfaces a little bit as well. Okay, so I'm going to finish today's video off with answering a question from the comments section. I did this a couple weeks ago and I asked if you all wanted me to do it more, and I think everybody in the comment section said yes, definitely. So thank you for that, because I like answering gardening questions from the comment section as well. So today's question is from Maricela, and she says, "Hey Janie, I am a new gardener, probably a year now, and been watching you for several months, but I am so tired of digging clay and rocky soil. So what brand of auger do you use and where to buy?" And Maricel, I feel you. When I first moved into this place, oh my goodness, it was so hard to dig in my soil, so hard. So I use a power planter, and I use the 7-inch diameter and 28-inch long power planter. That's my big one. And I would say it, 100%. Get yourself an auger. Get yourself a good auger, not a cheap one. And if you're going to use an auger as big as that, you have to get yourself a higher end drill, because the regular drills, I think they're 20 volt, they won't work for those bigger augers. Those will work for the smaller augers, but not the bigger ones that I use for like gallon and above plants. So power planter is the one that I use. Definitely, absolutely great. But I would say if you have really compacted clay soil, even if you're going to use the power planter auger, you need to pre-moisten the soil before you dig in it. So basically, the first thing you do when you get out into the garden, before you do anything else, decide where you're going to plant your plants and water that area and let it sit for like at least 30 minutes just to loosen that area. And then if I were you, I would get myself a digging stick, and it's just a really, really heavy stick. I think they're called a sand and jello bar as well. And you can just drop that into the hole a few times, and that loosens up the soil as well. And then if you want to go all out and really solve the issue long term, think about starting your garden, starting a no-till garden. That's what I did for this property. And basically what that is you put 6 inches of compost on top of your bad soil. And what happens is, because compost is a living thing, eventually that compost and those microorganisms work into your soil and actually will improve your soil over time. And so when I moved in here, I decided I was going to do the no-till method, and I put tons and tons of compost everywhere and then mulch on top of it. And over time, over the past 3 years, it's really improved my soil. Not 100%, but a huge improvement. And I can tell the areas that I haven't really done a good job on that, it's a huge difference between the areas that I have done a good job. So anyway, pre-moisten your soil before you dig in the area. Power planter auger with a really strong drill, digging stick, and then no-till gardening method if you want to go all out. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. I'm so happy that you're gardening. That's really exciting, and stick with it. Definitely stick with it. So that's going to be it for day 2 of my 30-day garden transformation. I have to say I'm getting pretty excited because it's only been 2 days and the garden is looking better already. I can already see a difference. So I can only imagine what it's going to look like after 30 days. So join me tomorrow for day 3. I think day 3, I'm going to be focusing on a little bit of cleanup. You all know I'm so bad at that. I garden and then I kind of just leave everything out. And I really need to focus on, picking up the plant pot, picking up my tools, putting this away. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on tomorrow. Until then, I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.